Hello there and welcome back to Hydroponics Daily, your go-to podcast for everything soilless cultivation. The audio might be a bit inferior today because I'm recording this from a theme park in Holland. It might be superior, in which case I should go to theme parks more often to record my podcasts. Just jumping on this podcast today because I've been to the Dutch flower markets, Flora Holland, this morning. Got up bright and early to head over there for a bit of a busman's holiday. I didn't drag my family along with me. Been on a holiday not in Amsterdam, keep on saying Amsterdam, Holland all week, but I thought I would go on my own to Royal Flora Holland, which is the large flower auction. And to say that it's large is a bit of an understatement. This thing is massive by anyone's standards, even by American standards. Millions and millions of flowers are traded here every day, and the visitor centre, I mean, if you're in horticulture, you know this, but what was surprising was just how good the visitor centre was. I mean, you got to basically walk along the length of the whole operation, and it is a massive operation. So this visitor centre, you're walking for about a kilometre or more through the operation on a sort of a gangway in the air above all the hustle and bustle. So all the hustle and bustle is going on below you. You can see the old auction rooms that used to operate there. They don't no longer operate a in-person auction because everything's gone online. So all the people in the auction, I don't know what you call them, the customers and the auctioneers, they're all sat at a computer on the various warehouses, all that surround this, around just outside Amsterdam near Schiphol Airport. And the old auction rooms are still there, though. You can see them, and I'll post some pictures on our social media. And they've got the old Dutch auction clocks, which the reverse of a normal auction. So they sort of count down from sort of 60 seconds, and it's the first person to bid at the highest price. So the price drops until someone bids. They then say how many they want to bid at that price, and then they go back onto auction, and someone might buy at a higher price or a lower price. And so they used to bus all of the flowers in, and they'd auction and they'd bus them all out. And there was a couple of auction houses. Now it's all done online, but they're still moving millions and millions of flowers. So it's still worth a visit because you just get to see like what does like 1 million hydrangeas and 2 million roses look like. And you see all the trains, the little land trains going around, and hundreds and hundreds of people. This is not automated so much. Obviously, everything's computerized, but they're all still moved by people. And then if the flowers are going off to any warehouses and companies nearby, they then get hoisted up into the air and flung through a sort of conveyor belt system that is automated. So they go off. And today there was just either hydrangeas are really popular or at the moment, or it was hydrangea day because there was lots of white roses and just train after train of hydrangea, which was amazing to see. So you just walk along and see it all, and you can wave at the people down below and they'll wave back at you. And there's a few people in a visitor centre and a gift shop selling flower related things. There was nothing with like I've been to the flower auctions of Holland t-shirts, so I was a bit disappointed with that. But yeah, it was good. And then at the end, there was a little sort of interactive museum pieces where you could pretend to be an auctioneer and see what you take to whether you were an auctioneer. You could drive one of the little trucks that they drive around on. There were some Lego flowers of the flowers, and then you could take your picture as if you were green screened onto the flower auction or some tulip fields and stuff like this. So I was the real sad person on my own, middle-aged man, taking photos of himself, pretending to be in a tulip field and things like this. So really good day out. It was €12. For a lot of other tourist destinations, it was very remarkably good value. Free parking on top of the roof of one of the warehouses. There was a restaurant nearby. The only problem was that the junction was shut on my way back, and so I got in a real tizzy because my phone wasn't working. My phone GPS took me to Schiphol Airport. I had to park up in a car park and find an exit. I was getting very angry. You know me, I'm quite easily agitated. And I managed to find my way out and back to my theme park where we're camping and spent the day at the aqua park. So that's been fun. So yeah, it's been really interesting. Seen a lot of windmills. What else have we seen? A lot of Venlo greenhouses on our trips, but this is the first one, sort of like busman's holiday I've been to. I do want to come back to Holland. Obviously, I go to Green Tech every year, but there's also a bike ride that goes through all the greenhouses in the spring. And I think that would be an epic journey. So if you'd like to join me on that greenhouse tour, it's probably all in Dutch, but if you speak Dutch, then you could accompany me and translate as we cycle through them all. One other thing I saw, which was really interesting, just looking back at my photos, we went to the Hague. We're staying near the Hague, a place called Doenrel in the sand dunes. And we went to the beach one day and we drove past a building that had green curtains, not green walls, because they were like climbers climbing up, but it looked like it was like almost like Lego blocks made of green foliage. It's really good. And so it gave the exterior of this building a half green, half glass appearance, half foliage, half glass. It was a big square box, a bit like the Corby Cube if you were been in Corby, or there's a big building in Seville that's a big box type cube. So like a giant IBC really, but with foliage all around it. And parked up nearby, took some pictures. Turns out it was the International Criminal Court. And so, yeah, I think that's where Slobodan Milosevic was tried, and other nasty people around the world, depending on your worldview, of course. But yeah, I parked up outside the International Criminal Court, illegally parked. So, yeah, I might find myself back at the International Criminal Court, accused of terrible parking in The Hague. So that's been my trip to Holland. Didn't get to Amsterdam this year because Amsterdam with kids is just not a fun day out, trying to not get them run over by trams. It's more fun when you're on your own. So, yeah, went to Utrecht as well. That was a beautiful city. Thoroughly recommend Utrecht. Went to the Miffy Museum. That was just horrific. 3 hours of my life. But yeah, apart from that, Utrecht was banging. And there was a restaurant called, was it Winkel von Stinkel or something like this, which made me laugh. Yeah, so if find yourself in Utrecht, go to Winkel von Stinkel. And if you find yourself in near Schiphol Airport and you've got some time to kill and you can find it on public transport or you've got a car, then definitely check out Royal Flora Holland. It's the Dutch auction house. It's got a visitor centre. There is only one visitor centre. You'll find Royal Flora Holland outlets all around Holland, but this is the only one near Schiphol Airport that has a visitor centre. And obviously, a lot of these plants will be flown in from Kenya. Some will be coming from Colombia, some from China, but a lot will be grown here in the Netherlands. A lot will be imported in from Germany. It was the infographic showed, and a fair few from Belgium. So it's not just the Dutch that grow in ornamental plants. A lot of potted plants were also on sale or auctioned off today, but no vegetables. It's only ornamental flowers and no hardy nursery stock, just protected crops. So that's been Hydroponics Daily for today. Hope you would find that interesting. And until tomorrow, thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.